Hello Libra, and welcome to your December 2021 reading. This is the general reading, so take what resonates and leave the rest. And be sure to check out your sun, moon, and rising for a more well-rounded perspective if that is something that you're into. All right, let's go ahead and begin. The first card we have here is, I think it says Hobjab, but I'm not 100% sure. The script is kind of quite fancy, but let's go ahead and just zero in on the imagery. And I am coming in strong with protection energy, and essentially a call for protection. There is something that you need to do for yourself to keep yourself protected. And I feel like this is, just kind of doing a general scan. I feel like for some of you, this is a spiritual thing. And for others, it is very much something that's going on in your physical, tangible, everyday life that you have been sort of aware of. It's been in your periphery of awareness, and you've kind of considered whether or not you should respond. And this is just essentially that message of yes, you should. You need to do what it needs to be done for you to protect yourself. And however that applies to you in your personal life and your personal circumstances. And there are some of you that the physical and the spiritual are interwoven, but definitely a call for protection, doing that what you need to do to protect yourself and those who you love, if that applies. So protection is the key. I feel like this is something that's very strong, leaving the month of November and entering the month of December. It's coming in extremely strong. We have Ace of Pentacles, and there is, this is coming in through hard as work related. And slightly financials. I mean, obviously when we think work related, we think finances, but there are some of you who it might not be specifically work related, but it is tapping into personal finances. There is a need for a new perspective regarding job. So some of you, it has to do with promotions. There's a chance or opportunity for promotion, and you have to weigh what you're going to get from it. Even if you do get more money, is the demands and obligation of that promotion really worth it? If the demands and obligation makes it so that you don't actually get to be at events for your family, is it really worth the extra money? There are some things that money cannot buy, and time with your children is definitely on the top of that. I actually, we save old tea bags. We get this type of tea that has these sayings written on the little tea tabs, and sometimes we will save some of them that really resonate. And they were being read today, and I overheard the one being read, and the statement was, and I feel like this applies, some of the poorest people in the world are those who have a lot of money. And I feel like this applies to this degree. So, like I said, there are some things that money cannot buy. And so whatever it is that you're going to be facing in the beginning of the month of December, I feel like one of the things that you have to weigh is the money really worth it? The requirements and obligations, are they going to be worth what you're getting paid? Because money's not everything, and money can't buy everything. So that's the biggest message I'm coming in strong with this particular card. However that applies, like I said, for some of you, it has to do specifically work related, potential promotions, but others, it really is about how you evaluate and contemplate your economic status. And this is something that can weigh in when you are contemplating economic status or choices that apply to your economic livelihood and position. This is being followed with King of Pentacles, and I feel like this is really representing with what I've already said. There are things that make us rich in this world that aren't necessarily tied specifically with the concept of energy or the concept of money and the energy that comes with money. So, I mean, I know that in this particular imagery, he is holding that gold coin, but you notice he's not surrounded by gold coins. He's actually surrounded by nature and the things that nature provides. So there are things that exist within the natural world that can make us consider or see ourselves as having more abundance than bags of coins. And I feel like this is just a continuation of that money, recognizing that money doesn't buy everything, recognizing that there are some things that money cannot buy, and also recognizing that richness, being rich, does not always mean having all of the money. There are other things that can be considered of higher value in life, and whether or not you want to embrace that, and knowing that it can potentially give you happiness. But I do believe that there's a wisdom that has to be kind of pursued or grown or nurtured with that, especially when we are plagued with the concept of money is what is the most valuable, and perceiving or showing or exposing yourself as being valuable is tethered to finances in some regard. It makes it hard to transfer that thinking, to turn it around. But ultimately, I feel like the King of Pentacles is just kind of a continuation of this card. And I stopped there for a moment because I just realized we went from one spectrum of the pentacles to the other. We went from Ace, which is the first card, to the King, which is the last card in the pentacle suit. The top of it, the finality of it, the goal almost, if you think of it as in sequence or in progression. So I think when I put these two cards together, and you really look at the imagery, and that, like I said, there's more to money, or there's more to rich than money, the physical, tangible aspect of money. And you factor in that, if you think about this particular land being owned by this person, it doesn't have to do with money. It has to do with the freedom that comes when you own things that can't be taken from you, and how that may apply to you personally. But I also feel like putting these two cards down side by side is really kind of in the progression, the concept of progression from one aspect to the other. I feel like it's tying in that aspect, or the thought of the Ace being the beginning. So you have a new perspective, or you have an opportunity to gain a new perspective of your connection, your thought process regarding economic status, and where it can lead. And it can lead you to a whole different, down a whole different path. But that new path can actually have you feeling equally rich, but in healthier ways, and healthier connection to yourself and your land and your country, than if you just focused and your path just focused on money. So however that applies, sometimes these messages come through, they feel so broad. And I know that the reason why they feel so broad is because it is such a generalized reading, but I also have experienced that it only seems broad if you're only thinking it from a generalized perspective. But when you are listening it and you know what you're personally going through, you hear those things that make you feel the way you're supposed to feel, that this message is for you. So however that applies, I hope it has touched you in the way it was supposed to touch you as you move through this, because there's a sense of security that, should you listen to this message and you allow to resonate what's supposed to resonate with you, I feel like overall there's a sense of security that is waiting for you, should you allow yourself to take this journey and to kind of pursue this view of economy on a personal level and how you may apply it. So however that applies, please do take it. We're ending with the Star card as far as these particular cards. Not really, I have one more card, but as far as this group or this cluster of cards, we're ending with the Star card. And I find it interesting that I ended, before I pulled this card out, I actually was kind of going on the perspective of how this new perspective on economics and how it applies to you personally it has a potential of leading you down a different path. And that is what the Star card is about. It's about being led. It's about being guided. But it's the guidance that you seek. It's not being guided because someone has told you this is the way you have to go, but it's the guidance that you seek to keep you on track where you want to go. The star card is in connection with the North Star and the Northern Hemisphere. When you are trying to find direction, the best way is to find the North Star, and from there you get an idea of what direction you're supposed to be going when you're out on the ocean. So it's a state. It's a pinned point or a specific location or a specific point that you reference. And from that reference point, you're able to understand which direction you want to go. So it's a guiding that is still puts you in charge of the direction of the path that you take. That's the kind of guidance that I'm talking about. It's not the guidance as being led and being demanded, but the guidance that gives you something to focus on, and then you still are in control of the journey in which direction that you go. And this is just, the month of December is just feeling like it's full of this. And there's a potential of, like I said, getting to a point where you reach this sense of security. Because the King of Pentacles also represents a sense of security, or as far as the money perspective and the grounded perspective that Pentacles provides for us. There's a sense of security that is awaiting you because of the work that you'll be doing from a personal, intellectual wisdom perspective that you can take should you decide to do this. We have Joy as the final card. This is the actual final card. Kind of wrapping it all up, pulling it all together, summarizing it to some extent. And I feel like it's also actually validating and continuing what I've already said. That King of Pentacles, when you go from the perspective of Ace being the beginning, King being the end goal where you're working towards, and you pull in that concept of a sense of safety and security, being grounded, that the Pentacles actually provides for you. The King of Pentacles specifically provides for you as far as being grounded and feeling secure, and then tying in that message with joy and how you can connect with that sense of inner joy that is available to us when we do feel safe and secure, when we do feel that we can be confident in who we are and the choices that we make. This is something that this work can lead you to, should you decide to take that journey, should you decide to follow that guiding light where it leads. So yeah, I hope that all has made sense and has resonated accordingly for you. I hope the reading was everything that you're hoping for and more, but that is all that I have for you. Be sure to check out your sun, moon, and rising for a well-rounded perspective, and hopefully we'll see you in a future video.